Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Trey over at TreyMixes.com, and today we're going to work on doing some processing for some large group vocals or gang vocals or whatever you want to call it. You see this a lot in hip hop tracks, rock tracks, all kinds of stuff, and we're going to try to discuss how to record them and what you kind of need to get this to sound the way that you want it to sound. And we're going to do this with stock plugins. Quick disclaimer, this track we're working on, you'll see I already have some non-stock plugins down here. They're all turned off. We're going to start from scratch and hopefully get right in here and get you guys learned on how to do some of this stuff. So we have here our whole group of vocals. There's a drop in this song, and then everybody says hey. So check out what we have dry.
Hey!
Okay, so we have a fake one, and we have a sampled hey, and we have a whole lot of other people. So we'll turn off the sampled hey.
Hey!
All right. So here's the first thing. You want a variance in sound to get this to sound the way you want it to. So you want some close ones, some far away ones. So let's go one at a time, just kind of see how we recorded this.
Hey!
We have a far one.
Hey!
We have a low pitched one, which actually was saying through a cardboard tube.
Hey!
Then another one through a cardboard tube, but further away.
Hey!
Then close ones, short ones.
Hey!
Another person.
Hey!
Another person. Let's hear that one again.
Hey!
From further away.
Hey!
Another person. We have
Hey!
a female one closer.
Hey!
Female far away.
Hey!
Another one with the same cardboard tube.
Hey!
And another one from far away. So we have this nice blend of close, low pitch, high pitch, male range, female range, far away, some extra effects just recorded into the mic, and they're slightly staggered. You'll see they don't all perfectly line up with who arrives there. So then you've got a variance and actually sounds like a group of people, and you'll see they are all variously panned, hard left, hard right, and spaces in between. So to give us this scape, this landscape of voices, to where you get this really big sound of all of these together.
Hey!
All right. And we have one fake sampled one in here that has some reverb built in. I'll just turn that back on. So we want to process this as best we can to get it to sound like a large group, but not super in front, not in your face. And so let's jump right in, and we're going to EQ. I've got them all bussed, all of our tracks for all of this, from here all the way out to here. All of these sent directly to a bus that is just called gang. And let's get in here and see if we can clean some stuff up. The first thing I'm going to do is high pass.
Hey!
And so you can see we have some rumble down here, and pretty much everything up to about 150 or 200 we probably don't need.
Hey!
Okay, I don't really hear anything else wrong with that. You may sometimes, because of some of these weird sounding ones that we did through cardboard tubes, like that. See, it's got a lot of no high end, a lot of muffled tone. If you don't have them turned down far enough, maybe sometimes if you like the balance, you can pull out some of that muffled type sound, probably in this 500 range.
Hey!
And we're clipping because of
Hey! Hey!
aha.
Hey!
It really brings it out in there. If there's too much, you can duck some of that out, but I think we're pretty good where we are. So next, since we're all various volumes and dynamic ranges, we want to be really smooth and consistent. Let's get our default compressor. And we'll leave it on our default circuit because I'm not really too concerned about that kind of coloration just yet. And we'll just compress the crap out of it. So we're really good, smooth, and we've got some evenness.
Hey!
Okay. Lower it even more.
Hey!
Okay, we'll roll with about 8 or so decibels of compression.
Hey!
Somewhere in that neighborhood. We'll turn off this auto gain and we'll add it back ourselves. And I'm going to leave it on an auto release. Since on this kind of song is a long space here, we don't do the haze again for a while. We'll let the tempo of the song kind of determine where it releases at, and we'll see kind of what it sounds like now.
Hey!
Okay, we're peaking a little bit with our makeup gain. Get that turned down.
Hey! Hey!
Okay, similar volume. And let's work on our attack here. We don't want it to completely destroy the initial impact because we want it to sound like there are a lot of people. If we compress it too much, too quickly, it may chop off some of the initial transients of these voices. And as a result, make it maybe smooth too much together. So we don't want to go super fast.
Hey!
But we also don't want to be too loose with it either.
Hey!
It kind of changes the tone of it. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20.
Hey! 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 Hey!
All right, that's about what I'm looking for. It sounds like a lot of voices coming through at the start, and it still compresses enough that we get a tail on the end of it. Now, one thing I love to do with group vocals is add saturation or some kind of distortion to get some tone to it. So let's see what our distortion circuit sounds like.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
That is definitely a little bit louder.
Hey!
Now, the thing with saturation is sometimes it can sound louder even though it isn't. So what you could do is now that it's saturated, you can bring up your output a little bit if you still want to match the level.
Hey!
Okay, but it gives you a more smoothed out sound frequency-wise and gives some more clarity to it. So now we've got some EQ and compression. Let's see what that is doing for us.
Hey! Hey!
Yeah, much bigger, smoother, and longer. So let's go now. I want to add reverb. I'm going to use a stock reverb. And let's see if we got a preset we like. I believe I used the long voices preset. So we'll just go right to that. There we go, long vocals. So let's see kind of where we're at. Since I inserted it directly, we're going to have to manipulate our dry and our wet signal some so as to get what we're looking for in terms of the sound. If you put it on the you can just send what you want to it, which is generally preferred if you're sending a lot of things to one reverb. But in this case, this was the only the only sound we put into this reverb, so I just put it directly onto the track.
Hey!
Yeah. So more reverb you add, and the more high end you kind of chop off, the further in the back you're going to put the sound. And so that's kind of what we're achieving here by using the reverb, is to pull it further back away from the lead vocals that are also going on here. And we don't want this to get in the way of what's going on in the lead vocals. Now that we've got our reverb picked out, we're going to adjust some things on the reverb to kind of decide how we want the reverb to affect what we're doing. There's a whole lot of dry signal here, and so there's not as much reverb as I would like to pull it further to the back, so we're going to pull down the dry signal a little bit until we can adjust kind of for the tone we want.
Hey! Hey!
So you'll see the more reverb you get and the less dry signal you get, the further in the back it seems like it is in, say, the concert hall. Okay, that's about the right blend, and so we're going to leave the dry and the wet there. But all the other settings we want to leave the same, but this reverb is way too long. So we like the sound, we like how it's affecting the vocal, we like our mix, we like kind of the way we've EQ'd everything, but it's just too big. And so I'm just going to pull this decay down. This is the total length of the reverb.
Hey!
How far out that rolls. And let's roll this back. Yes. And we'll just run through this part of the song with the haze, and then I'll show you the difference that pulling your reverb out of the way of the other things can make. Okay. Here we'll meet the other vocals. So that's kind of where we are. Here's where it was before. Much long. This is still going on. See how much longer it is in the mix? So let's pull it back and make sure it kind of fits in the space we want it to fit into before the other vocals start. See, now it's gone. Once the other vocals started in, the reverb for this was off, fitting it into the space we wanted. And so it still has the reverby sound, but it's not bringing that muddy reverb tone into the other vocals and getting in the way. All right. And I like to do one more thing to help spread these vocals way out and get them out of the way of the middle of the picture. And in Logic, they have some great imaging processing tools. You don't have to go out and buy new ones unless you just like doing that kind of thing. But we have a stereo spreader, and I'm going to put that directly on here after the reverb because I want the reverb sound to be spread out with the vocals. I don't want the vocals sending into the reverb. That's just kind of where they are. Let's bring the whole sound with us. And so let's pick a preset and see what that does for us before we go moving around. And so I've got here picked a high frequency and low frequency spread. We don't really have any low frequencies, so let's just get the high frequencies in here and kind of see what we're spreading around. So just about everything from 500 to 750 up, and not anything above 13K. Let's widen that out a little bit too. 15. Let's just kind of see where we're at.
Hey!
Okay, turn the order up.
Hey!
See how much further out it pushes them? I think that's probably too much, so we'll pull back to where we were.
Hey!
Okay, so that's what your order does, is how far it moves the number of voices out. And this frequency is just what it's affecting. I want to keep the low frequencies that are still in there from, 750 or 500 on down to about 200. Let's keep them kind of towards the middle so that it doesn't get way out in the side channels like we want the higher frequency content to get. And one more time, we'll do this on and off so you can see the effect that this does to this choir of gang voices.
Hey! Hey!
It clears it out, and I just want to clear it out a little bit wider so it's not in the way of the vocals. So we'll see kind of where we're at with our stock plugins from nothing to full-blown gang vocals.
Hey! Hey!
See, not altogether subtle, but effective and mixed into the song in such a way now with the reverb and the compression and the spreading so that it's not in the way of our vocals, but it's still doing what we wanted it to do. Accenting, sounding like a whole bunch of people screaming, hey, and it really livens up the song, right? Makes things a lot more fun to listen to when you have elements like this and they're mixed appropriately in your mix. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you found this in any way useful. Any questions, comments, leave them below. I promise I'll answer every one of them. I'll get back to you. And if you have any other ideas or anything you'd like to see, leave that in the comments below too. And head over to traymixes.com if you want a free ebook. And thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a wonderful day.